Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies, and my name's Angela and I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady, and I'd like to welcome you back to another Throwback Friday. That's right, new outfit, new items in the background, a new lot of recording the intro. Right, so for any of you newer crazies, the throwback series is here so that I can introduce you to older videos that I put out this sort of time last year. The reason I'm doing this is so that when you look at the back catalogue, you don't just sit there pulling your hair out thinking, oh my gosh, how many old videos, this is going to take an age. Because I know if I find a new creator, I like to binge watch. So I'm hoping that you guys will enjoy looking at these videos, and I will explain to you any differences within the video from then to now, or if there's anything that I really did muck up when I videoed it. So I hope you enjoy them. Right, so first video up today is a Whip Spits and Chat number 30. I hope you enjoy. I will see you on the other side of this one and give out any explanations that are needed. Right, so what have we got up for you this week? Right, okay, first one is the mystery cow. It's coming along nicely. I'm over halfway through. The first video is made up. I'm trying not to put it into too many videos this time round, so not the 4 but possibly the 2. And so at the moment the row counts is the first video goes up to 39 rows. Now the pattern itself is 83 rows, but just like the unicorn, a certain amount of the last rows are all the same colour, so they'll be squished together. So of course I can't wait to get that out to you. We're looking at Tuesday for that one, just so it gives me a bit more of a chance to carry on going and get the second video out the following week. Right, so yeah, that's pretty much it for that one. So what have I made this week? As some of you will have already seen on Instagram, I did actually put a picture up because I was quite chuffed that I'd finished this little guy on the 11th. No. Right, so I made this little guy. Here he is here. It's my little palace guard. Now, I managed to finish him off on the 11th. So of course I was really happy. I'd actually hoped to make 3 or 4 of them so that I could sort of sell them prior to the 11th and stick the money in the pot, but of course due to arm and hand that didn't happen. Pants. But the details for this little guy, sorry, I'm reading it off my book because my brain's going to sleep. So I got the pattern for him from the issue 121 of Inside Crochet. Now it is written in English, not American terms, and the details for you to be able to purchase the pattern and the book, which you can get in a digital download, are on the previous video, which I'll pop a link up above. Now the pattern was created by Matt Farsi. I will write his name down below. Yeah, so the pattern itself was really quite nice to work with, very simple. It doesn't include his cheeky nose or his little mouth, but the rest of it is pretty much the same. Now differences of course are his nose, his mouth, and the fact that I crocheted in his arms as I was working up the body rather than sewing them on, because I find it's neater, especially if the arms are flat and you're not stuffing them. Another difference between the top and the bottom is the black. Now I don't know if you can actually make that out because it's black, but the black I'd done normally for the hat, but I noticed that there was little gapping. If I do that, no, you're not going to see it, but you can sometimes see the stuffing when you're working with black. Now the reason I've found is that it doesn't matter what brand of yarn I'm using, it seems that the black is always slightly thinner than the rest of the colours. So what I actually did was, because this pattern starts at the top and works its way down, when I got to the legs I thought, no, I'm not having this because the gaps were too big, because of course you need to put a decent amount of stuffing in it, didn't you? So I actually doubled up with the yarn but stayed with the same hook size. So it was a little bit tight and a little bit obnoxious when working it, but it meant then that he had a solid black leg rather than having black leg with dots on. like the groom is that I'm making at the moment, so I'm going to cut his legs off and start again. Yeah, but getting back to my soldier, my Palace Guard, I think he was absolutely cute. The main aggravation I had was with the legs, and was also with the joining of the second leg, because with the base of this you work round for a couple of rounds and then you cut the round count in half to build your first leg, and then you go on, pick it up again and then work your second leg. But of course, because I was working with the double yarn with black and my eyes don't like plain, I found it quite difficult. So and not only that, the first time round I'd swapped yarns back by mistake. I'd swapped yarns, and the yarn that I'd been working with previously was only a not even a two-weight, I suppose. I picked it up by mistake, doubled it up, thought nothing of it and worked it. So he ended up with a normal size leg and then a leg that sort of stopped about 2/3 down and was really skinny, so it got chopped off and I started again and then again. So that's his third attempt on his leg, and that's it now. He's fine. I like him, so he's staying. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a picture up in a second which shows him a bit closer and in a bit more detail. And I know I'm going to get comments about, oh, isn't he so cute? And it's aimed at Liam, not at the stuffy. Right, let's move on to the next item, which is your pictures. Now, I've only got one this week, and that is from Julie Hannesford. But do you know what, Julie? I am so chuffed with it. It turns out that this is Julie's very first C2C. And not only is it her very first C2C, but she hasn't actually been crocheting a great deal of time in the big scheme of things. Yeah, so Julie has only been crocheting for just shy of 6 months, which to me is brilliant because she's done an absolutely amazing job on her very first corner to corner with a picture, and I'm in shock. So keep going, girl. On to the next one, bigger and better. The only negative thing I can actually say about it, Julie, is that you need to make another one. You've got 2 kids, they're going to argue. You can't have them arguing. You're just going to have to make another one and change up the colours. Or see what the Christmas Carol is once you finished it. Maybe one of the girls would like that instead. But yeah, I am a little bit evil with this comment, and I. Right, puppy update. Right, so in our local area, as you all know, we have got a nature reserve, which is a stone's throw away from the house. So it's absolutely brilliant to let Liam off, and he runs around, and there's a little stream. And it's really lovely for him because there's a lot of smells and a lot of people with their dogs go over, so there's a lot of dog interaction as well. So of course we've been using that a lot more often than the local field where other people take the dogs normally, just solely because we're only out for the hour rather than a couple of hours. So it gives him quite a lot of stimulation in quite a short time. So new rulings are coming from the nature reserve. Dog owners can now take their dogs over there, but they have to keep them on a lead, and it can't be a long lead. And I think it's down to the fact that there have been a couple of attacks on the sheep. So I can understand that they're helping the farmer out, but he's due to move. He's moving his sheep soon, so like onto a different pasture. So we're actually hoping that they lift the ban, but the ban is now turned into a no off lead time, and they're not allowed in any of the waterways. Like, 'cause there's a couple of stinky ponds, and then there's a fresh running stream. So if the dog jumped into the stinky pond, which we know he does, he would then get frog marched round to the clean area where the stream was running, so he could be cleaned off. But he's not allowed to do that now. So there's no meeting up with his mates over there to play and let off a bit of steam, which is a bit unfair on him really. So I've had to work out a different method to give him a bit of extra exercise. Okay, but I take him down to the local field where he's still allowed off, but it's only the one, and it's very staggered times with other people turning up. You never quite know who's going to be there, which is good because it means he gets to mix with lots of other dogs at different times of the day. There's normally someone there for him to play with. Well, one of my girls up the road, I've known her for quite a while now. She's got a husky puppy. Well, she's not quite a puppy anymore, but when Liam first met her, she was a puppy and he could dominate the play. Well, of course, they've had 6 months of not seeing each other, and at this point our beautiful husky has doubled in size, and now she dominates the play, which freaks him out, but it's so funny to watch. Now of course we've gone back into lockdown in the UK, and whether you see it as lucky, unlucky or not, my family live too far away for me to pod with them. So me and my neighbour have discussed it, and we are podding together. So we're turning ourselves into a extended family group really, which means then that we get to have a cup of coffee together and the dogs get to play. So for us it's an absolute dream. So last week she got dropped off, and because her owner had a couple of things to do, so she dropped her off, and they had their mad 5 minutes out in the garden, chilled out. I bribed them. I absolutely had to bribe them first time in, because she's never really been into the house in the last 6 months. She was overexcited, so it was a case of she comes in and I bribe her to keep her calm. After about 5 minutes she was perfectly fine, and the pair of them were just chilling out. Second time she comes around, she comes straight in through the front door, no problems at all, says hello to Liam, and they go off bombing around the garden, thoroughly enjoying themselves. 5 minutes later he comes in and hides. She's wearing him out. But they were backwards and forwards in and out of the garden, being absolute lunatics. It was absolutely cool to play, cool to watch them play. So I'll pop a couple of pictures up that I took. I'm sorry I haven't got any videos yet, but that'll probably be next week, when me and her other owner decide to stop laughing and actually start recording. Right, so if you look really closely, you can still see that I've got my palace guard. He is hiding above my head there, protecting the poppies for this year's poppy count. So, as I said in the video, I absolutely loved the pattern, and yeah, I do plan to make a couple more, but it's just a case of when. And just in time for you lot, if you're not already involved in this month's cow, I have of course got the 2020 mystery cow, hashtag 10. Now I'm just going to show you a short clip of this one and then add an image of the finished product, because of course we all know now that the 2020 mystery cow, hashtag number 10, was in fact our cheeky penguin. So if you like the look of this one and you're looking for a Christmas gift idea that's Christmassy related, this one's ideal. Hello everybody, and welcome to the Crazy Poppy Lady's secret Christmas crochet along. Now for this one, it is going to be secret to all of you until you finish the picture what it actually is. So I really hope you enjoy playing crocheting along with me and working out what it is. Now for this one you are going to need white and black. Now they are a must. Okay, you're going to need some saffron or an orange or a dark yellow. Okay, and then you are going to need a light blue and a dark blue. Now these two colours you can change out to either pinks, reds, greens, whatever your favourite, whatever your colour is, or whatever you've got some spare of that you want to use up. But what you do need to do is have two different shades within the same colour. Right, so our next video is a yarn review, and that is the Alzia Baby Softy Plus. Now, I did speak to you last week, or should I say re-show you it last week in the unboxing. So here it is. Here is the yarn review for that one. I still think it's really lovely. It's just a pain in the posterior for ends. When it comes to sewing in your ends and hiding them, it's not the easiest yarn to work with.
Hello everybody, and my name's Angela and I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady. Right, so today I thought I would do you a bit of a Baby Alzia Softy Plus Ombre Baltic review. So I got this one a little while ago from goodvibeyarns.co.uk. The details are just here. Right, now this is massive. Look at the size of it against my hand, just to give you an idea. It's like the size of 2 cakes plus a bit of say a Mandela. Now this one is, where have we gone, there we go. It is 500 grams or 17.63 ounces, 600 meters or 656 yards of fancy unbrushed. Okay, now it is made in Turkey, and the care instructions on this one, come on you focusing camera, there we go, it is 100% micro polyester. Okay, so it's a hand wash only item. And what else we got? Don't tumble dry, lay flat to dry. 5 to 6 on the needles and a 3 to 5 on the crochet hook. Now this is turbo soft, really floofy, and the colour, although it doesn't show up too well here, this is actually greens, so the colour on this one I absolutely love. Now I've been mucking around with this bit here, playing with different stitches for a little while, so to give you an idea, nothing has come out, no fluffy bits as yet, and I've had it in a corner to corner squares, a job load of single crochet, half double and things like that, just to see how well it untangled and undid, and it came out quite easily actually, but that's because I am using my old faithful 4mm. So I think I chose quite well on the hook. So here we go. If I pull out a nice, or pull off a nice fresh bit for you, you'll see it comes out and is all wibbly wobbly. Okay, so there is the fluffy section around the main cord. And then that, as I said, it spins round. All right, so let's show you how it works up. Right, so here we go. Now, as you can imagine, it is quite difficult to see your stitches and things like that. So personally, I wouldn't go for anything too complicated, because it's going to be quite hard to see it unless it's one of these patterns that you've done multiple times in other yarns and you're used to working with them. Otherwise, you are working with feel. So there's 1, there's 2. Right, so I'm going to do this first row in single stitch for you. like that. So that is one side, if you can work out what it is, and there's the other. Right, okay, so now we're going to go on to the half double crochets. I'm going to stop it there so that we can see if there's any difference within the rows. Right, so then we're going to go for a double. There we go. Can you tell the difference? Apart from gapping on the double, I can't really make, and a small amount of gapping. It slightly increases. Otherwise, I don't really see any difference. Right, now the real test. How good is it and easy is it to frog? Now this is going to be real time. I'm not going to speed it up. I'm not going to do anything other than frog. Okay, the double crochet, lovely to pull out. Half double crochet, there is a little bit of a tug, not major. And the single comes out lovely, as well as the chain. Okay, the only bit that was a little bit funny was that very last one, but of course I did jank that. So for those 3 stitches, I thought they came out quite nice. You can't see them. You can't really see any definition in the stitch, so it's just, personally, I think it is going to be more of a choice of what you want your overall project to be like. I'm sure that there are plenty of patterns around for fuzzy chunky yarn that we can play with, and as you can see here, I'm doing my old faithful corner to corner because I want to see what it would look like that. I also want to see whether it would completely and utterly do my boxing. Yeah, it definitely is a non-visual yarn for this one anyway. But I'll tell you what, enough makes those blocks look lovely. And it also makes them very large. Now this, as I said, I told you what the size of the hook was earlier, so these are approximately, what, 1 inch, I suppose. So that would make an almighty chunky corner to corner. Right, so here we are. I just thought I'd bring you down for a closer look on the corner to corner square that I made with it. Now here is the side of the work, and here is a corner to corner, a corner of a corner to corner in a DK, just so that you can see the difference in thickness and also the difference in square size. Now this green panel is only 2 squares. Okay, so that is only 2 squares. So I couldn't resist, it made me chuckle, so I thought it might make you chuckle too. It's basically a 2-for-1 deal. And so if you decided to go absolutely and utterly crazy and make one of the corner to corner blankets out of this yarn instead of the DK, you would double the size of it, and it would be so fluffy. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Anyone that's looking to make a second unicorn blanket, it would be so cool and fluffy. I cannot tell you at this moment in time how much this massive 500-gram ball would actually make up, because I still haven't set my heart on what I'm going to do with it and what stitch I'm going to play with. But once I do, I'll get back to you and I will show you all it in a whips and bits.
So I wonder if any of you actually dared to attempt to make a unicorn corner to corner blanket with that yarn or something similar. If you have, I would really love to see it. And of course, I'd love to see your photographs of any of the items that you have made using my patterns, because you know, I love seeing them and I love showing them off. Right, so that is it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed the little look back at the videos that I chose for you. I will see you all really soon. So if you can, please stay in and definitely stay safe. Ta-ra for now, everybody.